Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. We're only about 24 subs away from 1K subscribers. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, man. Hit that now. Make sure. So, this is the preview. We're doing the preview, man. I'm back with the previews. I haven't done previews for a couple of this season, to be fair. Even towards the back end of last season, I was doing a few previews in all things Arsenal, but I feel like I'm gonna start giving you some dedicated previews and dedicate some more time to the team that is top of the league, which is Arsenal. So before we even get into the preview, we'll take a look at a few nominations because there has been some nominations. Arsenal have had two nominees, Timber for Player of the Month and also Mikel Arteta for Manager of the Month. So we'll take a quick look at who else is in the contention for it. So, first of all, we got Matty Cash, Bruno Guimaraes, Haaland, Krupi, Brian Mbeumo, Mukiel, Igor Thiago, and our own Urian Timber. So there's quite a few people that have a good shout for Player of the Month as well. Matty Cash had a great goal against Manchester City, one clean sheet which was in that game. Aston Villa also beat Tottenham as well, so yeah, I haven't really watched him. Bruno Guimaraes, they got 2 wins and a loss, but yeah, I can't see how you get it when you ain't got the victories, man. Haaland, 3 goals. That's expected. I think that's like a quiet month for Haaland, surely. He's usually getting like 5, 4, 5, 6 in a month. So it's quite quiet for Haaland. The new boy, Junior Krupp, he's only played 2 games, but he's got 3 goals. He looks like quite a find. He got 22 goals last year at Lorient. So, he's definitely one to watch, that player. One to watch. Bournemouth, Brentford's, Brightons, they always find these young hidden gems. I don't know where they pluck them out. It's like they pluck them out of thin air. Don't know where they find these motherfuckers, but yeah, they found another one clearly. We got Brian Mbeumo. Oh, he's got to be the favourite, surely. He's got to be the favourite. He scored against Liverpool. He scored 2 against Brighton. Manchester United's won 3 from 3. He's definitely, probably the favourite. I voted for him by accident. I was trying to vote for Timber. But to be fair, he probably does deserve it if I'm being non-biased, but I'd always back my Arsenal players if I'm being honest. You got Nordi Mukiel for Sunderland. Oh, clean sheet and a goal as well. So he's had a good month. Igor Thiago, 2 goals this month. Not bad for Brentford. And then you got Urian Timber, our boy, 3 clean sheets. As we know, he's just a rock at the back. Between him and Reece James, there's an argument. This guy's the best, that guy's the best. Right now, I wouldn't swap anyone for Urian Timber. That, he just sort of what typifies Arsenal. A player for Arsenal Football Club. And yeah, man, long may these stellar displays continue from Urian Timber. So those are the nominees. I feel like Timber, he's got a chance, but it's probably going to be Mbeumo. And then if we take a look at the nominations for the Manager of the Month award, we've got Ruben Amorim, Arteta, Unai Emery, and Andani Areola. So Ruben Amorim, for the first time in his appointment, he's actually got back-to-back wins, but he followed that up with back-to-back-to-back wins. 3 wins in a row. Went to Anfield. Man United won at Anfield the first time in 10 years. So he has definitely got a shout. They beat their bogey team, Brighton, who they never beat. Brighton usually just wipe the floor with Man United, quite frankly. And then also, I think they beat Sunderland. So, and Sunderland, we know Sunderland, where they're like 5th in the league right now. So you can't turn up your nose at Sunderland after what we just saw what they done to Chelsea. They just slapped them up quickly. So yeah, man, it's quite actually, no, they might even be 3rd in the league. Where are Sunderland? I don't know, but yeah, good month for Ruben Amorim. +5 goal difference, so I'm sure now finally Man United don't owe the league goals. So he's got a good shout. We got Mikel Arteta. As we know, 3 clean sheets, 3 victories, 3 London derbies. It's done the business. Done the business. Tricky opposition. All 3 of these teams, we drew with Fulham at Craven Cottage last season. We lost at home to West Ham, and we drew with Crystal Palace at home. So he's turned the tide. Last season was tough, considering that we actually kind of knew the league was done from around January, February. It was over, especially as fans were just watching it. So fans going to games, you could tell they didn't have much motivation. It was quite quiet. Emirates was like a library. Champions League games, yeah, we were up for it, but in the league it was quite hard probably for the players. But that being said, the season before West Ham done us. Season before Fulham done us. So it was important. It was important that we got those wins on the board. So well done to Mikel Arteta. He's probably the front runner. He must be, because his team's top of the league. But don't know. These things are voted by the fans, so maybe Man United fans might vote in their droves. I don't know. It's probably between these two. Then obviously you've got Unai Emery. Stellar month for Unai Emery. 3 wins. Tough wins as well. Having to come from behind to beat Tottenham. Also, who else did he beat? He beat Manchester City last game, 1-0 win. And I think, who is it? Is it Burnley? Yeah, so good month for Unai Emery. Aston Villa, they started the season poorly, but yeah, it's good for Aston Villa. It's good that they're being competitive, and hopefully they can take points off a few teams. Hopefully they can take points. They already took points off City. Hopefully they can take points off Liverpool next. We can only just hope and pray. Hope and pray. And then Areola, 2 wins and a draw. He's probably the person that's not going to get it. But he has got Bournemouth up to 2nd. They're 2nd in the league. So you got to give him his props. The 3-3 draw with Crystal Palace. Realistically, they probably should have beat Crystal Palace. They conceded a penalty, one of the last kicks of the game, and they could even lost that game. So they could be 2 points off Arsenal. Wow, Bournemouth. This Areola, yeah, he's proven to be a very, very exciting manager. And he's got Bournemouth playing, considering all the players that they lost. Long may it continue for Bournemouth. Long may it continue. So that's sort of the awards. I think now we can look at the actual match in itself. That's what we'll look at. We'll look at the match in itself. So we'll take a look at Arsenal's record against Burnley. So I have it here. This is the last 20 meetings, but what we'll do, we'll take it from when Mikel Arteta came in, because he came in about, I believe it was sometime like December 2019. So his first game would have been here. These would have been his fixtures right here. So we drew 0-0 at Turf Moor, and then he lost 1-0 at the Emirates. I remember that game. That was horrid. That was Sean Dyche. It's me, Sean Dyche. And then they drew 1-1 against Burnley. So in his first 3 games, Burnley was his bogey side. Sean Dyche had his number. He seriously had his number. But then, I remember this game. This was what you'd probably say when the tide started to turn. Arsenal scored from Martin Odegaard's free kick. I remember that game. 1-0 was tight. But then, it's like we reverted back to type and drew 0-0. I don't really remember that game. Not many people probably would. It sounds like a horrible game. But then, their last season in the Premier League, beat them 3-1 at the Emirates. And then I remember it, the 5-0 game, absolute battering. That's when we was on a rampage. Thought we was going to win the league that year. So Mikel Arteta's got a mixed sort of record against Burnley. It is quite mixed. What's that? 2 wins and 2 draws at Turf Moor. So, yeah, he's got a bit of a mixed record, but this is a game you surely expect Arsenal to win. You surely expect Arsenal to win. Although, Burnley, they do have an alright home record. If we take a look here, these are their Premier League games at home this season. So, their first Premier League game was Sunderland. They won 2-0. Then they lost against Liverpool 1-0. Drew 1-1 against Nottingham Forest. And then they won against Leeds. So their only wins have actually come against newly promoted sides. They drew 1-1 with Burnley. And I mean Nottingham Forest. And that was Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest. So I'm not too sure. I did watch the Liverpool game. Liverpool did actually batter them, if we're being honest. If we're being fair, Liverpool did absolutely batter them, but they held out for long enough. So Burnley are a stubborn team. They're very, very stubborn. So if Arsenal are to get something out of it, they're just going to have to take their chances. Because if you look at this as well, like Burnley against Liverpool, they only had 19% possession. That is horrible. They don't really average much shots on goal either. They had no shots. What's that? Shots on target, I think that is. Is that shots on? Well, it says shots on goal, but I'm guessing that's shots on target. They had no shots on target against Liverpool, and we know Liverpool's not the best this season. 2 against Sunderland, 2 goals. 4 against Forest, and then 3 against Leeds. So they've been very efficient. They have been quite efficient if you take that into consideration. Obviously, the Forest game looks like the outlier. That's 25% of their shots on target resulted in a goal. But you look at the Leeds game, for example, what's that? That's 66%. And then you look at the Sunderland game, which is 100%. All their shots were on target. So they were quite efficient. But you'd like to say that Arsenal, if they give us the chances that they've been given to the other teams. So you look at it here. Liverpool had 13. Sorry. Liverpool had 4 shots on target. 9 shots off target. You've got, who's that? The 1-1 draw. Forest, 8 shots on target. And 2 shots off target. So, you gotta say, man, if they give that to Arsenal, they're gonna get slapped up badly. It could be, if they give Arsenal 8 shots on target, it could be 4 or 5. Because Arsenal, we are also very, very efficient. We're very efficient. And there is, what's it called? They've done a bit of a preview on the Arsenal website. Here it is. Before we go into the team news. So obviously Adrian Clark spoke about it. It says, you expect Scott Parker to play with a pragmatic 5-4-1 formation. He's used it 5 times already this season, so that's 5 out of 9. So he's definitely probably going to use it against Arsenal. Says that's the safety in numbers approach. Yep. Burnley averaged just 35% of the possession. And there it is, man. It dipped to 19 and 31% against Liverpool and Manchester City. So you just know, man, this is a very, very tough side, especially at home, man. They've only conceded 2 goals in 4. That was Liverpool and Forest. Only one was from open play. But there was another stat that I think they gave Liverpool. I think it was 13 corners. Yeah, it was. It was 13 corners they gave Liverpool. As you can see it right here. They gave them 13 corners. So if they give Arsenal 13 corners in this game, you gotta pray for Burnley. If they give Arsenal 13 corners in this game, I'm just telling you, you might have to put Gabriel as a triple captain. Put Gabriel as triple captain, because I'm telling you now, if Arsenal get 13 corners against this Burnley like they gave to Liverpool, long day. Long day. Gabriel might get a hat-trick. He might get a hat-trick. He might be the first defender in Premier League history to get a hat-trick, 3 headers. 3 headers, hat-trick from a centre-back from 3 corners. Do not be surprised if that happens, if Burnley give Arsenal 13 corners, because that is horrendous. That is horrendous. Obviously, somehow they just about got away with it against Liverpool. Well, they almost so close. It wasn't until the last kick of the game they switched off. But yeah, they did play quite well that game from a defensive standpoint, but at the same time, Liverpool should have scored, if we're being honest. But yeah, man said there's a school of thought though. This is what they're saying as well. That Burnley have been fortunate not to concede more goals. They have leaked 12 from unexpected goals against a figure of 18.56. So that's 6 more goals people should have scored against Burnley. And they faced the most shots in the league, 165 shots. Poof. That is 32 more shots than the next closest to is West Ham. And we know West Ham, they are shocking. Absolutely horrible. But yeah, and it goes on to basically talk about their being efficient from goal. They netted 12 goals from an XG of only 6. So they're a bit of a weird side. They got the second best conversion rate in the league, which is crazy. And that Jadon Anthony, he's their top goal scorer. He used to play for Arsenal. And you know what happens when former players come to play against their former side? Yep. But let's be honest though, people. Chris Cavanagh's refereed this game, but I think that's enough for the scaremongering. If we are being honest, people, Arsenal in this game, there's no excuses. Yes, Burnley have a wonderful home record, but if we're being serious, we have to get the job done. And before I go more into the game, I'll give you an injury update on the Arsenal players. We'll go into the injury news. So, it goes on. Arteta at his press conference gave an update on Martinelli and Saliba because they did miss the game in midweek. So he basically says Martinelli is still out. So Martinelli will not be available to play against Burnley. Saliba, we have to wait and see. We have another training session this afternoon, and the rest are still getting closer. I think in the right direction, but not available yet. And I believe he's talking about Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, and Odegaard. I believe he also sort of goes further into detail. He spoke about Gabby missing the game, just said we don't know yet, but I think this game is going to come too early for him. Then he went on to discuss Kai Havertz, Madueke, Odegaard, and Jesus. And then he basically says that he's optimistic that they will be back for the Tottenham game. He's very optimistic that some of them will be back for the Tottenham game. Some people are saying three of the four of them will be back. Probably not Jesus. But from what Arteta's basically said in the interview, he's basically saying that probably two will definitely be back. So it is good news. Hopefully players don't get injured on international break, because it seems with Arsenal, one in, one out. One person's coming back, one person goes out. We're seeing now, looks like Madueke might be coming back. Martinelli's got injured. So let's just hope that the boys can stay fit and available. That's basically what he had to say from the press conference. So other than that, Martinelli's out and Saliba, we don't know. He might be available, but I'll go into my team news to say whether I think that he should actually be playing. So let's take a look at my team. So my team for this game, it will be David Raya in goal. I go with Urian Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, and Calafiori. I believe that this game, there's no point risking Saliba against Burnley. We're not even gonna have much defensive work to do. They're gonna be trying to catch us on the counter. The few attacks that they have will probably be on the counter attack. So do we need to be risking William Saliba? I don't think so. I don't think we should, because there'll probably be a lot of like tracking back. So you probably just say, yeah, Mosquera. He's probably a bit quicker, so we can play him. No point risking him, it's Burnley, lads. Then we got Champions League game against Slavia Prague in the midweek. You can probably bring Saliba back there, give him a couple more days recovery. You don't even really need him on the bench. We've got Hincapié, and we've got Ben White who can play, and Timber. We've got options. And that is the great thing about Arsenal. We've now got options. We don't need to rush players back. So that's why I wouldn't be playing William Saliba in this game. Then I go with Zubimendi, Rice, and Eze as a midfield three. I feel like that just goes without saying. If you really want to, you could potentially rest the Rice or Zubimendi and put Ethan in the midfield and just say, you know what, this team's going to park the bus. They play five at the back. Let's just try to attack them. So I wouldn't be too upset if that happens. Well, I'll never be upset if you go attacking. Then Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard. You'd hope that this is a game that Gyökeres can finally get a goal in the Premier League, because he hasn't scored in the Premier League for a minute now. And they do say, after all, that he only scores against championship teams. So hopefully he can get a goal against Burnley, because he got 2 against Leeds. Hopefully he can get another 2 against Burnley. That would be so much. I swear I'll love it. I would love it, because I'd love to see the rivals crying, he only scores against championship sides. Then when he scored against Atletico Madrid, oh, the goals was horrible. The goals was horrible. Oh. I love seeing rivals cry. There's nothing better. Because I'm telling you now, come the end of the season, anyhow Arsenal win this Premier League, Hey, people gonna have to run. People are gonna have to run because I'm just gonna be calling people. Yo, brother, what you saying? Yeah, talk to me nicely. I'm a Premier League champion, you know. Where's your trophy? That's what I'll say. Where's your trophy? Where's your major? Hey, rivals, gonna be long day for you, you know. Long day, man. But yeah, man. We'll go into my we'll go into my prediction for the game now anyway. We've had our fun. We've had our fun. So if Arsenal are to win this game, I think we just need to sometimes we're gonna need a bit of patience because this team is gonna try to park the bus. But what I would say is just start fast. Start fast. Because no matter what, this game, unless if we get an early goal, then it could be 5 or 6. It could be a battering. But one thing you know about Burnley, they're going to try and park that bus. They're going to have 2 double deckers in front of the goal. So we're going to need to move that ball quick and try to get an early goal. But if we don't get an early goal, we're just going to need to be patient. Patience is of the essence. That is it. Just relax. This is a side, they concede the most shots on their goal. So we're gonna have chances. We're just gonna have to take them. That is it. Just be patient and we will eventually get the goal. And I have faith in Arteta nowadays. I have faith for him to make the right decisions. If things are not going his way, he's got multiple options to bring off the bench. I'm hoping Dalman's on the bench because Martinelli's unavailable. So we're gonna have Dalman. We're gonna have what's the other kid? Wanyeri maybe. Anus. He probably might even be on the bench this game as well. Because, yeah, it seems like we're missing quite a lot of players in forward positions. What's that? Eze? No, sorry. Odegaard, Madueke, Jesus, Havertz. Yeah, so that's quite a few. That's quite a few. There's 5 of them missing. Yeah, 5 of them missing. So, yeah. Hopefully, maybe even a young player might do a madness. If we're winning 3-0 at half time and Dalman comes on, Dalman and Ethan might come on. They might even get 30 minutes in this game. They might do a madness. They might score. Oh my days, if Dalman gets his first Premier League goal. Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it, man. Hey, this is their chance, man. So, my score prediction for this game, I have been talking that we're going to smash them, but I'm going to play it calm because against Atletico, I said 1-0. It was 4. So this one, I'm going with a simple 2-0 win to Arsenal. Simple. Saka and Gyökeres. 2 goals, clean sheet, number 7 in a row. Arsenal will be going further clear and edging closer and closer to a first Premier League title in 22 years. So people, make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel on the road to 1K. We're out. Bless.